rock rhythm. Please welcome Martin Motnik and Peter Dallas.
All right. What we would like to discuss is the relationship between bass and drums and the importance of a solid rhythm section for a band. So we will analyze and play a variety of famous rock songs that most of you probably know to demonstrate different ways how drums and bass can play together, and we will give you some hands-on tips and tricks on how to become a better rhythm section.
My objective is to keep this song simple and solid so that the band that I'm playing with remains tight. They know where the ins and outs of the sections are. When people are 30 feet away, they know what's going on, how to get in and out of the section.
This song is a perfect example for the most common bass groove in rock music, which is the 8th note bass groove, because it creates a driving feeling and goes well with pretty much any drum groove. In a professional situation, it happens very often that you jump in on a gig without much of a rehearsal. That's when it comes in handy if you play a song and you can play with the original energy without getting lost in complicated parts of the song. Even though we played this last song as close to the original as possible, we played it in a way that was more straightforward.
So I'm attacking this song from a more of a straight viewpoint, which keeps the band tight as well. This brings up an interesting point. The drummers in the 70s and the early 80s, they were influenced by their teachers when they were young, who taught them rudiments and things from a swinging jazz viewpoint. In the 80s, things were much more click-track oriented, more straight.
When you're a bass player in a band and you don't know what to play, listen to the bass drum and follow the bass drum. Following the bass drum creates a tight groove and is essential for a solid rhythm section.
Notice that I'm doing a quarter note ride pattern. It makes that snare really drop heavy on the 2 and 4, and the rock bands really like that. They like that snare to be very prominent.
That's especially that I do when I play in three-piece situations. When it comes to the solo, I switch to a pick and I start playing chords during the guitar solo. I basically become the rhythm guitarist. That makes sure that the sound stays big and fat when the guitar stops playing rhythm and goes to the solo.
On this great Who classic, Keith is keeping a solid beat, and he's looping around the pulse with fills that drop cymbal accents with bass accompaniment. Brings the drums to the forefront of the mix. Lead drums, if you will.
Pinball Wizard is a great song to show how a bass line can be melodic and driving at the same time. It also shows the connection between bass and drums and how the bass can play off the drums.
I tend to play with my arms very high, because when you're playing on big stages and guys are 30 feet away, they'll see you coming down as a drummer. And then the band looks tight, even though the band may not have ever rehearsed. My job as a drummer is to make it solid for the band, make it easy for them to play, and enjoy themselves and know where everything is.
Before we play the next song, let's talk a moment about our gear.
Your snare is your sound. That's your signature. Wherever I go, if there's a backline drum kit, which is not my own, something already set up, I always bring my own snare. Notice here there's a brass strip, then maple, and then brass. Okay? So that allows me, I can crank these up and get a slamming rim shot, or I can tune them nice and low and deep for rock. For rock playing, I like a deep snare, and so do the bands I play with. So, DW snares, awesome. My sticks are Vader. I play a Peter Dallas Signature 5A. Would you like a pair? Sure. There you go. All right. And they have great wood tone and a nice slam and rim shot with the wood. They get a great snap.
My strings are Elixir strings. So for those who don't know them yet, Elixir have a very, very thin coating on them, which keeps the dirt and the sweat and dust out of the gap between the string windings, because that's what makes the strings sound dull after a while. It's a simple guitar pick, and I have a little dot of Velcro here on the back. So here on the bass, here I've got the fluffy part, and this is the rough part. I just grab up here and I can, and then when I'm done, I'll just put it back up here. Velcro also helps me not to drop the pick when my hands are sweaty, so it gives me a better grip. All those brands are available here. Make sure you check them out here, and please support store manager Alone and his awesome staff with your business.
We've got two more compositions for you tonight, and this first tune is an original composed by Mark called Arizona Sunset.
In this song, the bass is not only playing a supporting role, but it's actually the lead instrument. So even though it's rather unconventional to have the bass play the lead instrument, it still again shows the importance of a locked-in rhythm section and how the drums build the foundation for the bass to play off of it.
I'm keeping the groove consistent while having fun playing lots of triplet fills interwoven with double bass grooves. Now the way that I arrived at this was I listened to the Greg Bissonette track, which is on Martin's record, and I also then listened to the Neil Peart track. I kind of arrived at a hybrid of the two.
Geddy Lee and Neil Peart from Rush are a fantastic rhythm section. They are both very musical, very talented players that listen a lot to each other. This actually summarizes tonight's clinic. If you're a bass player or a drummer in a band, it's very important that you listen to each other. The songs that we played tonight have gotten progressively more intricate and difficult to play. However, the overall job of the rhythm section stayed the same: to build and maintain a solid foundation on which the other players in the band can build on. And to be a solid foundation, you have to be a team.